fitness equipment.
And much, much more at prices you never thought possible.
Cleveland on sale is the shopping event of the year.
February 7th, 8th, and 9th at the IX Center.
Don't miss it.
We help you see your life. We bring you life in a brand new way. And whether you need us day or night, we show you how. We got the way. We help you see your life. We help you see your life. We help you see your life.
Famous factories are forced to sell over $20 million of 1991 overstock inventory, and we bought it all for pennies on the dollar at Value City Furniture. 3-piece trailer living rooms, not $1,100, your choice, $595. 4-piece black lacquer bedroom, not $550, only $398. 7-piece all-wood colonial dinette, not $800, only $398. Rocker recliner, $198. Accent tables, $48 each. Get 90 days, same as cash. Save big now during the factory buyout sale at Value City Furniture.
Brett Maverick, the Lazy Ace, tomorrow at 10.
Baseball is in the air, and we've got perfect weather for it in Palm Springs. Welcome back to Southern California, the California desert. Let's get some of that National League strategy now and check in once again with Tommy Lasorda.
I'm with the skipper of the National League team, Lou Brock. Lou, it's a close ball game. What do you think?
Well, I had my hitters up there at the inning, and the point was to get them to punch that ball through the hole and get the big guys up there. We accomplished that, although we made a base running error at second base, which cost us dearly, but the fact is that they did what they had to do.
What do you think your chances are? They've got the home advantage here. Now they come to bat last.
Well, of course, they got the big guys over there. We can keep the ball on the arch. On the big pop-up, we got a chance, and hopefully that when our little guys come back and put that ball on the ground, get a base hit, we can have a big guy to punch a fly ball and get a run.
Lou, we got to win this game. I told you that once, and I'm telling you again, so think of something.
Thank you, Tommy.
Okay, Lou, good luck, buddy.
No pressure from Tom Lasorda on the National League skipper Lou Brock, none whatsoever. And leading things off for the American League, all ages, all sizes. Down in the desert to watch the Pepsi All-Star softball game is Paul Molitor, is 0 for 2 so far. Mainstay. The infield for the Milwaukee Brewers for so many years. And going after the first one, late break for Bobby Bonilla. That patented slide, Tommy.
He's going to have to catch a lot of those this year.
The newest member of the New York Mets getting there late.
I wonder what his paycheck reads every 2 weeks. Have you ever figured that out?
I'd love to see it, though.
I'll tell you one thing. When they pay him, they won't count it. They're going to have to weigh it.
Bobby Bonilla, $29 million over 5 years with the New York Mets. And it probably didn't hurt Bobby Bonilla that Danny Tartabull signed a 5-year, $25 million deal to play across town. Had to maybe alleviate some of the pressure going in.
I'll tell you, when he goes in to cash his check and they give him the bills, they're going to have to bail it.
Chuck Knopfloch in the short center field for Tony Gwynn. The Rover out in the outfield for the second out of the inning.
Bonilla told me he wrote a check out recently and it was returned. And on the back of it, it said, sorry, insufficient funds. Not yours, but ours. The bank couldn't cash it.
I told him back. He broke forward. He told me I had it.
The hero for the Minnesota Twins in the most recent World Series, and no one will ever forget the magic moment he provided in Game 6. To send it to a 7th and deciding game that eventually made the Twins the World Series champions.
That big home run he hit off of Lee Brandt was very, very exciting for the Twins fans.
2 down now.
It's a great series for baseball, period. That was a classic 7-game series.
That was exciting. Every game. How many games can you win in the last at-bat?
Pocket after the first pitch, long run, and Tony Gwynn with the sliding catch. So a 1-2-3 inning.
Hey, Biggio, instant replay showed that you were out.
Hey, first you do them? Huh?
Hey, Greg. Hey, Greg, I don't like you because you're Italian. I love you because I'm Italian.
Tommy Lasorda being reminded that he still owes Craig Biggio some pasta sauce.
Today, Pepsi announced a new slogan. Mere words? Or is a taste of Pepsi so big, America's really got to have it?
Gotta have it. It's something I felt for years, but never had the words to express.
If it's so popular, how come everybody's drinking it?
Henry's only regret is that he started drinking Pepsi this late in life.
The phrase, gotta have it, strikes a chord deep in the human psyche.
Now that everybody's gotta have it, Pepsi's not gonna need celebrity endorsers anymore.
And that's what I've been saying all along.
Tonight, don't forget to turn on and tune into NBC. It's where you should be for the best comedy and drama on TV with all new episodes of The Golden Girls with special guests tonight, Alex Trebek and Merv Griffin. It's all followed by Walter and Emily, then Empty Nest and Nurses. Then it's an all-new Sisters, the show America loves. So don't forget that great lineup, The Golden Girls, Walter and Emily, Empty Nest, Nurses, and Sisters, all tonight right here on NBC. And a special guest joining us in Palm Springs, his favorite place in the world. And I'm speaking of the Honorable Mayor of Palm Springs, Sonny Bono.
How are
Sonny,
you, Joel?
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy the event's here. This is very exciting.
You delivered, Sonny. The
Thank
weather
you.
is perfect.
No rain. Did we scare you for a while?
For a couple of days here.
Yeah, but look what you got today.
Pepsi All-Star Game, moving from Florida to Palm Springs for the first time, hopefully forever.
You're going to stay here, aren't you?
Forever.
Oh, great.
Ideal situation.
Yeah.
Sonny, things looking bright in Palm Springs.
Things are looking very bright in Palm Springs. Who's going to win this game now?
Well, I can't talk about what Las Vegas thought.
Oh, that's
before
right.
the start of the game.
I see.
Although you'd like to see gambling in Palm Springs, wouldn't you?
Well, wouldn't bother me too much. I think we're going to have it anyway. You know, the half of this town belongs to the Indians. And they get to do whatever they want to.
Easy out for Sonny Bono. And speaking of Indians, let's head down to Tommy.
I'm talking to Paul O'Neill, the Dodger killer. Paul, I got to ask you this. Why is it that you hit so especially well against the Dodger ball club?
I don't know what it is. You guys got great pitching. It's just, I don't know, I guess it's a rivalry, and everybody gets up a little bit more for when the Reds play the Dodgers.
Paul, the Cincinnati club have made some moves this year. How do you feel about the moves they made?
I hope they're good enough to beat you guys, and then I know we'll be in good shape.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. You do a sensational job for the Cincinnati Reds. Continued success, except when you play the Dodgers.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Well, as I was just mentioning with Sonny Bono, this is the first Pepsi All-Star softball game in Palm Springs. The first one outside of Florida. It's the 11th annual overall. These fans were out here a good 2 hours filling the stadium beforehand to watch batting practice. It has been a sensational weekend. The golf tournament yesterday, and all to benefit the Sickle Cell Anemia Foundation. The Pepsi All-Star softball game. And Sonny, the fans out in force. Then you've got the single-A affiliate here. So you've got baseball just around the corner as well with the Angels 2 weeks today.
Well, we've been very excited about the All-Star game coming here. So I put in a special order for the weather to be good for you, to tempt you to play here all the time. But the town has been very excited about you coming in and playing. It's a wonderful event. See all the big boys all here playing, and you can the enthusiasm of the crowd. I don't think could be better, do you?
No, it is sensational, and Paul Molitor has it off the bat of Bobby Bonilla. Sonny, we definitely will see you next year because it's an ideal situation to have the game here.
I was hoping, you know, maybe I'd get to play. I guess maybe next year now, huh? I do swing a mean one.
I'll talk to Tommy about the first base position for the Dodgers. That's up in the air right now.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Sonny.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you again. Sonny Bono, the mayor of Palm Springs, joining us this afternoon as Howard Johnson Hojo comes through with a one-out base hit. And another look at that. Sweet swing. hours of summer, playing ball in winter in the California desert. And now can the National League take the lead with the man over at first base and the man you just spoke with, Paul O'Neill.
This guy's tough, I'll tell you that. He gets a hold of one, he can hit it a long ways.
Not that far, as Brian Harvey had ideas about going to the second base bag for the forced play. Instead, the man is in scoring position on the ground out off the bat of Paul O'Neill. We are at the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll stay here. Stay right here in Palm Springs until the game is decided.
Joel, in basketball, they talk about the home field advantage, the home court advantage. Well, I'll tell you right now, being the last at-bat, having the home field here is going to be really important for the National League All-Stars.
Terry Pendleton with a base hit. They'll hold up Howard Johnson at third. Runners at the corners now with 2 down. So Terry Pendleton going up top, showing almost like a tomahawk chop.
I was trying to hit that thing. I had to come up with something else.
You don't have to.
Somebody hit one. He almost caught
You loved it, didn't you, Tommy?
Hey, give me one.
Terry, when I said to him before the game, Terry will be Mike, so we're looking for incredible commentary from you during the course of the contest. Said it's going to be tough to get it out of me.
Joyner's in there talking to Harvey, his old teammate. As you know, Wally's going to be playing for the Kansas City Ball Club this year. Outstanding player, Wally Joyner. Right now, Bagwell needs a base hit here.
What?
This could be the key of the game right here. This key at bat.
The fly ball in the direction of Ken Griffey Jr. Stopped and he lost it. And there is the deciding run possibly. The go-ahead run touches the plate in the presence of Howard Johnson.
Pendleton, he has a tendency to hurt his legs, and he did not want to run real hard on that ball.
Tommy, you think he should have scored on it?
Normally he would, but with the way he's running now, he wouldn't. The one thing they don't want to do is pull any muscles in a game like this.
Now, many of the players, like your Dodgers, continue to work out throughout the offseason. In fact, your Dodgers, and obviously it's a break, but they're in Southern California. They were out at Dodger Stadium right after the first of the year with regular workouts.
That's right. You know, when I play with the Brooklyn Dodgers, you know, Campanella, Robinson, Hodges, they all lived in New York, and they never had the opportunity to work outdoors during the wintertime. But now a lot of the players live in Southern California. The weather's beautiful. They get to work out 3 times a week at Dodger Stadium. And that's really helpful to them when they go to spring training, because in those days, where you can go to spring training, you'd get blisters on your hand because you hadn't picked up a bat all winter. You'd get shin splits for running. But now the players don't have to go through that.
The American League 2.
The National League has taken the lead. And before we get a break, Tommy, did you ever think you'd see the day and age where you'd see a player get $29 million over 5 years?
Nope, I never thought that day would ever come in baseball. But evidently they're giving it to them. It's more power to them. Nobody's putting a gun to their head, so the players are getting it, and I don't know how long it will last.
A run on 3 hits, and the National League takes the lead at the end of 6 by the count of 3-2.
The Pepsi-Cola Company, stunned by the spontaneous growth of the Gotta Have It movement, responds with a $10 million thank you.
The way it works is simple. First million people to buy 2 multi-packs get $10.
Buying Pepsi is a lot like buying shoes. It's always better to buy 2.
You mean I get the Pepsi and the $10?
I have never seen so many people gravitate toward a multi-pack giveaway.
I gotta have it anyway, so why not just take the $10?
To get your $10, send in proofs of purchase from 2 multi-packs. All entries after the first million get 5 $1 Pepsi coupons.
When you're all stuffed up and use an ordinary nasal spray, it drips into your tissue where it can't help you breathe. But not Sinex Ultrafine Mist. Its medicine stays where you need it, so you can breathe the way you want to. We don't drip down, we clear up.
And I've had some pretty good cereal in my time, but the trouble with this cereal, it got no soul. I mean, it needs something to make it sing. All you got are flakes in a bowl. I should have put this in before I opened my mouth. Simple, crispy, it's good, all right?
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Just sing it to me, baby.
Taste them again for the first time.
It's gone. But it isn't.
Introducing extra strength Vicks cough drops.
It's gone, but it's still working.
Now with twice the Vicks Vapor Medicine to relieve your cough and help your scratchy throat and stuffy nose feel better, even after the drop is gone.
Sunday, the Wolverines' Fab 5 freshmen lead Big Ten powerhouse Michigan against the upset-minded Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Tomorrow it all happens in Orlando, Florida. Finally, the NBA All-Star Game on NBC. Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing leading the Eastern Conference All-Stars along with Charles Barkley. And then Magic Johnson and the best from the West. So many great players like Clyde the Clyde Drexler and David Robinson. It all begins at 3 p.m. Eastern with NBA Showtime. It's hosted by Bob Costas and Quinn Buckner. The NBA All-Star Game tomorrow on NBC Sports. And don't forget about that in-depth interview with Magic Johnson just before the start of tomorrow's game with Dick Enberg. And portions of that also right after the Pepsi All-Star softball game later on this afternoon on NBC. The Pepsi Gotta Have It MVP All-Star Award will be presented at the conclusion of today's contest in Palm Springs. The leader in the clubhouse right now. Difficult call in a 3-2 game. Both pitchers have really been tough in this tight affair as we head to the top of the 7th inning. The ballots haven't been counted yet, and let's check in once again with Tommy and the two skippers.
Okay, here I am with the two skippers. Rod Carew, you're 1 run down. This is your last at-bat. What's going on?
Frank Thomas is going to hit one out. He's going up there to try and hit one out. We've got the game in the bag, Tommy.
That's confidence. What do you think, Lou?
Well, of course, we hope he hit that big fly, but not all the way out of here. And hopefully to keep the ball in the air, anything on the ground seems to get through for base hit. Well, it's been great so far. It's been a very interesting game. We thought we'd let him take the lead both times and then come back and win the game.
Are you two guys having fun? That's what's important.
Well, I am, and of course, now I got to run lead, but a moment ago, here we go again. The American League jumping all over us. Well, Tom, it's been a great day. It's been a great day for the charity, and it's been a great day for these players, and they're just doing a tremendous job out here.
To see both of you, Hall of Famers, to come out here and do this, you guys are both to be commended. We're very, very proud of both of you. Thank you, Rod. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you, Tommy.
Okay.
Frank Thomas along with Ken Griffey Jr. on the left, Griffey, and having a great time for an outstanding benefit.
I told Lou we got to pray for 3 outs right now.
This game, of course, for charity and the Sickle Cell Anemia Foundation. Already better than $600,000 has been raised over the first 10 years of this All-Star Softball Classic. And getting his first at-bat against the left-hander Tommy Glavine, who's trying to go the distance today, is the new first baseman for the Kansas City Royals, Wally Joyner. Talk about great gentlemen of the game. That's exactly what Wally is. Many questioned his decision, though. Offered 4 years by the California Angels for $16 million. He decided he wanted to make a change. So he sends it in the air in the direction of Hojo, who has it. But back to that thought, Wally Joyner took an offer of $4.2 million from the Kansas City Royals. And, of course, many feel, despite the fact that Bonilla got the big deal and Tartwell got the big deal, that eventually in the next year or two it's going to be a diminishing economy in baseball in general. And did he take a huge risk?
I talked to Wally, Joel. He told me he really felt sad about leaving the Angels. He wanted to sign with the Angels. He loved the Angels.
He's headed to the AstroTurf of Royal Stadium in Kansas City. It's Cal Ripken Jr. Stands in now for the American League. They trail by a run. 3-2 National League lead, Tommy.
We got 2 big hitters coming up. Ripken and Frank Thomas. Frank Thomas may be the only guy right here, as Rod Carew said, going to hit one out.
In that Linguini celebration last night in your hotel room to try to pump up the National League, was there an incentive clause in there for a post-game celebration? Ripken, a rope, and Bonilla's got it. Looked like he had trouble with that one.
Well, the sun's right in their eyes, coming into the left fielder's eyes. That's why he's fighting the balls out there. Here it is, right here, the last hope.
Well, during batting practice, as you can see the sun back in the eyes, especially the left fielder and Howard Johnson out in left center. During batting practice, about an hour before the game, big Frank Thomas. And Bobby Bonilla parked a few himself out in left field. But Frank Thomas in particular, he really turned them on during batting practice with one over the left center field wall. And it was well out of here.
What Glavine has got to be thinking right now, I cannot give this guy a pitch that he can hit out of the ballpark. He's going to make him go after a bad pitch if he can.
What I love was Sandberg and Pendleton came in to talk it over with Glavine on how he's going to deal to Frank Thomas.
I think that's exactly what they said to him. Don't let this guy hit the ball out of the ballpark. See what I mean? He's going to try to get him to swing at a bad pitch. If he walks him, he'd rather walk him than let him hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Short the fence.
That's trouble.
It is trouble. Pendleton moving fast. He's got it. And the National League upsets the favorite American League.
That's trouble if it don't come down.
Unbelievable. Frank Thomas and the American League All-Stars. A dejected lot.
It was a great game, Joe. 3-2. Look at them out there celebrating.
Well, Tommy, I think you were really instrumental in that National League victory.
Listen, now it's 8-3. I know that. I know Lou is happy. Lou, nice going, buddy. Big win. Come here.
Get Lou
Hurry up,
over
Lou.
here,
I want to hear what your feelings are when you saw that fly ball go out there.
Well, of course, they kept banging the ball away. And that last one, we were hoping that he wouldn't wait for a walk the last time up, and Griffey burned us with a big fly ball.
I think Pendleton and Sandberg went in and told Glavine, don't give Frank Thomas a ball that he could drive out of the ballpark.
Well, of course, I don't think there's any ballpark when he hits it can hold it, but he tried, and I think he gave it a big swing at the tail end of the ball and popped it up.
Lou, you did a magnificent job bringing the National League to victory. We're all proud of you, all of us in the National League. You represented us in the greatest of fashion.
Thank you, Tommy. We're looking next to play the Dodgers, so we want to take them on, too.
You got no chance of doing that, Lou. You know better than that.
Oh, you never know. Good to see you.
Good luck, Lou. We're proud of you.
Lou looks like he could still steal a few bases. What a great deal. That may be the best trade in St. Louis Cardinals history. They've had some good deals, but Lou Brock for Ernie Broglio. So Lou Brock leads the National League All-Stars to the 3-2 victory over the American League side. And don't forget, we're going to come back and we'll set things up, and we'll have the presentation of the MVP award here in Palm Springs, but we'll also be going back to New York and get ready for that interview with Dick Enberg as he sits down and talks with Magic Johnson. Portions of that interview with Magic Johnson today as they preview the All-Star game, all coming your way tomorrow on NBC. And we'll also have scores and highlights from the day in sports as well as we head back to our studios in New York. So that's all coming up in the next couple of minutes. As we continue from Palm Springs, a victory for the National League. They've taken 19 of the last 23 in the Midsummer Classic, and finally, they get it right in the All-Star softball game for the Sickle Cell Anemia Foundation. We'll be right back to the California desert.
With its powerful 16-valve engine, double wishbone suspension system, anti-lock brakes, and a driver's side airbag. Don't just think of it as a wagon. Think of it as an Accord with a bit more space.
Special Accord leases are now available. See your nearest Honda dealer for details.
We've added the leading cough suppressant to the proven cold relief of Alka-Seltzer Plus. So now you can relieve your cold and cough together. Introducing Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough Medicine. 2 kinds of relief from only 1 medicine.
If you're looking for a shampoo that's tough on dandruff, nothing works better than this. Head & Shoulders Intensive Treatment, with the most effective medicine you can buy without a prescription. There's no better treatment than Head & Shoulders Intensive Treatment. We dare you to have dandruff.
I'm a cop, you idiot! He's prepared for every situation.
I'm the party pooper.
Except this one.
They're 6-year-olds. How much trouble can they be?
Take the gun. Now, he's a cop in a class by himself. Not on HBO, not on Showtime, only on NBC. Stop it! For the first time on television, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I have a headache.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor. Kindergarten Cop, Sunday at 8:30, 7:30 Central on NBC.
They're horrible.
is the NBC Sports Prudential Update. Now, Gail Gardner.
And welcome back to the Prudential Update. Busy afternoon in college basketball with a much-awaited meeting between top-ranked Duke and number 22 LSU headlining the schedule. In Baton Rouge, Blue Devil guard Bobby Hurley out with a broken bone in his foot. First half, Duke by 4. Jamie Brandon on the break to guess who? Shaquille O'Neal. O'Neal 16 first-half points kept LSU in that game. Second half now, Duke by 2. Thomas Hill to Christian Laettner, his second three-pointer in a row. Laettner led Duke with 22. They went on to win 77-67. Duke now 18-1, LSU 14-5. Meanwhile, in Chapel Hill, Dean Smith worried perhaps about a letdown after upsetting Duke. First half, North Carolina cold. Derek McQueen with the rebound throws the outlet pass to Trelawney Owens. Owens to the other end, jams at home. Wake's biggest lead of the game, 32-10. Tied at 78, 7 seconds left. Brian Reese gets his own rebound, puts in the 16-footer. North Carolina wins 80-78. Tar Heels now 17-3 on the season. Meanwhile, at the Pyramid, Memphis State by 1 off the inbound. Tigers on the break. Anthony Hardaway, the alley-oop to David Vaughn for the jam as the Tigers pull off the upset 92-88. Anthony Douglas, 24 points and 19 rebounds in that game. Meanwhile, at Wisconsin Fieldhouse, Badgers coach Steve Yoder stalking the sidelines. First half, 24-17, Michigan State. Grant Johnson blocks the shot, goes to Sean Respert, who double pumps and hits. Michigan State 26-17. Now in the second half, it's Mark Montgomery. Well, I guess we're not going to see it. Off the inbound pass anyway. He got it to Mike Peplowski. And Peplowski, by the way, 19 points, 16 rebounds. Michigan State goes on to win by the score of 79-64. And some other finals in this afternoon in the Big Ten. Number 8, Ohio State over Purdue, 71-59. Jim Jackson with 23 points. Number 14, Tulane over Virginia Commonwealth. The final there, 97-80. And Green Wave now 6-0 in the Metro Conference. And number 18, Alabama, pretty easy win over Tennessee. The final score there, 85-68. Latrell Sprewell, 24 points. It is time now to go to Orlando, where Bob Costas and Quinn Buckner are standing by with a preview of tomorrow's NBA All-Star Game.
Okay, Gail, tomorrow it will be the 42nd annual NBA All-Star Game here on NBC. The Orlando Centroplex will be the site as an expansion team hosts the All-Star festivities for the 3rd consecutive year. The players all arrived yesterday. Many of them took advantage of this area to bring their families and visit Disney World and some of the other attractions. Both teams found time to practice earlier today. The East a little more low-key in their approach. You'll get a look here at Charles Barkley limbering up before the workout. He was the MVP of last year's game played in Charlotte. Isaiah Thomas and Patrick Ewing go one-on-one, and Isaiah gets the better of this exchange. The East will be coached by Phil Jackson, whose Bulls hit the break in something of a slump, losing 4 of 6, but still they're 39-9. Michael Jordan squeezed in a little basketball in between rounds of golf. Word is he played 36 holes today for the 3rd straight day. The main focus here in Orlando, of course, remains Magic Johnson, who could, in all likelihood, be playing his final NBA game tomorrow. In fact, that's a virtual certainty. Last Sunday, Magic Johnson sat down for a wide-ranging interview with Dick Enberg. We'll bring you 2 installments of that interview tomorrow. First in the halftime of the Michigan-Notre Dame game, which begins at 12:30 Eastern Time, and then in Showtime immediately preceding the All-Star game at 3 Eastern Time. Here now is a portion of that interview as Magic talks about his longtime rival, Larry Bird.
I've never had such a basketball without myself or Larry. And I know it's happening, but I just never imagined it. And I think that if you're going to say one thing that you would miss, it would be playing against Larry.
Is that why you wanted him to be here next week for your retirement of your number?
That's why I picked that game. That's why I tried so desperately to make sure he was going to be on the Olympic team. That's why now he's called me to make sure I'm going to be playing. And it's, you know, it's, I don't know, it's just, it's, 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 it's a camaraderie, a respect, admiration of two players who just have bonded together for some reason since '79.
But you didn't always like each other.
No, we didn't. But I think because of that, that has made our relationship what it is today. We never liked each other, but we respected each other, and that's the difference. You may not like a guy, but if you give him the highest respect, that's all a man wants. And I've always feared Larry. If one player in the league I've always feared it was Larry Bird. And out of fear, I respect him because of that. And now that I've come to know him as the person, as the man, Larry, and not as just as a basketball player, we've grown together. That's why we have such a strong relationship. And I just want to say, you know, one thing, basketball will be lonely, is lonely for me without him, and will be double lonely without Larry Bird. You can't fill that void. It's just nobody like a Larry Bird. And that's from me as a player, and I'm sure what the fans are thinking, but for me as a player, he's the ultimate.
You know, it's easy to be cynical these days in sports, and often there are false sentiments expressed, but it's very obvious that the bond between these two guys is genuine.
Well, Bob, it is, and as I talked to Larry Bird, you got the same sense of how he felt about Earvin Magic Johnson. He felt that there would have been a definite close friendship had they been raised in the same neighborhood, but even more importantly, you could sense in the conversation just the admiration and respect he had for Magic Johnson, and as you could just hear in Magic's comments, he has the same kind of respect for Larry, and that's the ultimate when you're a player, that the guys respect one another.
And one more item here about Magic Johnson. Although the league has not officially announced it, it's expected that the procedure tomorrow regarding open cuts, wounds, will be the same as what will be in place under FIBA rules at the Olympics this coming summer. That is to say, any player, not just Magic Johnson, any player in tomorrow's game who has any sort of cut will be immediately ordered from the floor and will not be allowed to return until the cut has been closed. It's very possible that that will become the rule throughout the NBA next season, but it will not be the rule if, in fact, any rules change happens for the remainder of this season, because they won't change rules in the middle. But it is very likely that will become NBA policy throughout the league for next year, and it will be in effect tomorrow for the game here in Orlando. Now, on another subject, as always in an all-star game, there are intriguing matchups, and at center tomorrow, Patrick Ewing, Georgetown class of '85, will find himself matched up at times with Dikembe Mutombo, Georgetown class of '91. Mutombo is the only rookie on either squad, and earlier today, Quinn had a chance to talk with the two big men. Here it is.
Not really. You know, I just tell him to just go out here and have fun. I think that he's done a great job this year, and he deserves to be here. And, I have to tell you one story first. It's funny. He called me up last week. You know, he told me, since I don't get to play you, you know, until after the All-Star break, I just want to let you know I'm going to kick your butt. Then I'm going to take you and your family out to dinner. So I'm going to see what he's going to do tomorrow.
It's always too sad. What's too sad? If they are called, he was the first one who called me. I said that he's going to beat me and they take me and my girlfriend, my parents to dinner. So I told him the same thing. I'm going to take him and the two boys to the dinner. So we're going to see what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm looking for a play against him because I work with him all summer long.
Dikembe, this is your first All-Star game. You get a little jittery?
I think I just go and try to have fun. I don't know how much time I'm going to play. But at least if I'm going to play 1 minute, I'll be really happy because I'm going to try to check it.
Dikembe Mutombo communicating with you in one of the 5 languages he speaks. Now, to take nothing away at all from the achievement of performing as well as he has as a rookie, you know, he's 25 years old, so he's physically more mature than the average rookie.
Well, I think that helps in terms of maturity, but in terms of experience, he's still very young. You know, when he came to Georgetown, he didn't come to play basketball. He came on what was essentially an academic scholarship, so he didn't know how to play, and he's made tremendous strides, and he'll continue to do that because when you get to work out with people like Patrick Ewing and Bill Russell has occasionally worked with them, you learn a lot, and these two guys are really funny. When I talk to them and listen to them talk about who's going to take whom to dinner, they're very serious about this, and what I like about it, it invites a certain amount of competitiveness amongst friends.
The Magic story obviously is #1, and we've been talking about it throughout the day on the updates. It'll be an important part of the Showtime program preceding tip-off tomorrow. But how about other things about tomorrow's game apart from magic that intrigue you?
Well, I think, you know, what we got to look at is Larry Bird is not going to be here. And having not talked to Larry since that interview, the concern to me is, has he played his last All-Star game? Because as you recall, he said, should his injury continue as it has been or not come back the way he was, he won't fly. So now you're talking about losing two great players and not having him involved in the All-Star game. But I expect it to be very high-spirited. I think the guys are all going to be pulling for Irvin. And I suspect that Irvin's going to be pulling very hard, and wouldn't be surprised if he's the MVP tomorrow.
You know, here's a guy to watch in tomorrow's game. Dennis Rodman of the Pistons. This guy's now averaging over 18 rebounds a game. That's the highest rebounding average in the league if he finished the year at that figure since Chamberlain in the 72-73 season. And this guy is perfect to be added for the Olympic team because he doesn't need to score. He fits in perfectly.
Well, he will fit in on some respects. But what they're really looking for, you know, on the Olympic team is probably as much versatility. Now, he doesn't have the versatility, but I've got to tell you, where you're absolutely on the mark, the guy can rebound with the best of them, and he can defend. And those two attributes can help you make any team.
And he doesn't need to have the ball in a situation where it's going to be tough to distribute that ball with so many great scorers. Well, we'll see you tomorrow from Orlando, and we'll continue here on NBC with more from the Pepsi softball game right after these messages.
Today, Pepsi announced a new slogan. Mere words? Or is the taste of Pepsi so big, America's really got to have it?
Gotta have it. It's something I felt for years, but never had the words to express. And here's the first Pepsi can Carl and I shared since the slogan change.
If it's so popular, how come everybody's drinking it?
Good probing question. We now have unconfirmed sightings of the Gotta Have It movement in 47 states.
I always knew Pepsi tasted good, but when did it start making people dance?
Henry's only regret is that he started drinking Pepsi this late in life.
The phrase gotta have it strikes a chord deep in the human psyche.
We have unconfirmed reports that the Gotta Have It movement has reached Texas.
Funny thing, when I saw that big Pepsi sign, I felt like he was talking to me. He was saying, hey, Floyd, you can drink it too.
Now that everybody's got to have it, Pepsi's not going to need celebrity endorsers anymore.
And that's what I've been saying all along.
What would you say to have Pizza Hut bring you the ultimate cheese pizza? Hold on, we're not just talking 1 or 2 kinds of cheese. We're not even talking 3 or 4. Not even 5. We're talking 6 different cheeses in one delicious pizza. Try the new 6-cheese pizza for an amazing $7.99. A second for just $4 more. So if you want cheese, all you gotta do is say... Pizza Hut, deliver me. And for an even tastier 6-cheese pizza, don't forget to add lots of your favorite toppings.
Michael, Magic, Sir Charles, Mr. Robinson, the world's greatest athletes will all be there to play in the NBA All-Star Game Sunday. Saturday Sports Showcase has been brought to you by Pepsi, Gotta Have It, by Pizza Hut, voted America's favorite pan pizza, by Sinex Ultra-Fine Mist, the nasal spray that goes up and stays up, and by American Honda, makers of automobiles, motorcycles, and power equipment.
Welcome back to the Coachella Valley, beautiful Palm Springs, California. The National League defeated the American League 3-2 in the 11th annual Pepsi All-Star Softball Game. The Sickle Cell Anemia Foundation, and we will have the MVP award presentation, but let's go to Tommy now with a couple of the runner-ups.
Okay, right here I have with me the winning pitcher. You looks like you're starting right where you left off, Tommy.
It's a good start to the new season, a complete game victory. I can't complain.
Well, you feel good?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Good, good. Over here we had the man that looked like he had the chance to hit the ball out of the ballpark. You look like you just missed that pitch, Frank.
Well, I just missed that last pitch. Tommy pitched a heck of a game today, and he shut us down for 2 runs with all the offense that we had. But in all, it was a great game for a great call, so we're very happy here.
Both of you guys are great to be here, and back to you, Joel. Thanks, fellas.
All right, Tommy, we still have our MVP awards still to come from the desert in Southern California. Be right back to the Pepsi All-Star Softball Game where the National League finally came up with a victory. Only their 3rd in 11 tries against the American League, winning by a run with that run coming across the plate in the bottom of the 6th inning. So big day for Tommy Lasorda in particular. He was politicking all day long in that National League dugout. His dreams, his wishes came true.
I gotta let
Dear USA, there is a city with rings more precious than gold. A city reflected in magic mirrors, with towers of ivory rising to the sky. It's a magical city, where the friends you make are friends for life. It's Barcelona. It's in Spain.
Will this be the story down the road, the Midsummer Classic? Will it be another victory for the National League All-Stars? Welcome back once again. I'm Joel Myers. We bring you back to the desert in Southern California. A victory for the National League over the American League. We're joined now by David Novak, the Executive Vice President of Pepsi. Also Vince Berkeley, a Vice President of Pizza Hut. I know you have a special check presentation, David.
We sure do. First of all, we'd like to thank all the fans for coming out. It's been a great day to support a great cause, and there's nothing I'd like to do more than present a $50,000 check on behalf of Pepsi-Cola and Pizza Hut to sickle cell anemia. So, Dorothea and Zernona, we're very pleased to present this check to you.
Congratulations. $50,000 and a great day for everybody concerned.
We're real pleased and thankful for Pizza Hut and Pepsi for this tremendous support to our national program.
Thank you, and thank you, David. Now, the MVP award for the 11th annual All-Star Softball Game. First time in the desert in Southern California. And Craig Biggio, the winner from the Houston Astros. A big thrill, I know, partner.
This is a lot of fun. You know, this is nice to get away right before spring training starts, and it's a great foundation to sickle cell, and I'm glad that we could raise $50,000. And I had a lot of fun out here in California, and hope to be back again someday.
Is it true what I heard about you at the pool contest last night? I'm not talking about the swimming pool, but the pool hall contest last night.
Yeah, I had the first round. I had Kirby, and I happened to beat Kirby. Got lucky, real lucky in the first game, but my true colors came out my second game, and I lost. So
it was an outstanding weekend. What about the golf tournament? Was that a big day for you as well?
The golf was a lot of fun. You know, you had the long drive contest, and Jeff Bagwell won it from Houston, and it was just a lot of fun. You know, a great course, beautiful Palm Springs out here, and I just had a great time.
Speaking of great times, is it second base in the future, or is it behind the plate still for Craig Biggio of the Houston Astros?
Well, I've had a long, lengthy conversation with Art Howe, and that's what he wants me to do right now, and I guess that's the direction of the club is going. So I'm just going to try to go out there and just do the best that I can do for next year and just see what happens.
So we're going to be talking to infielder Craig Biggio in the future.
Yeah, that's what it looks like for right now. I had a chance to talk to Ryan Sandberg, and he gave me a lot of input, and it should be fun and interesting for next year.
All right. Congratulations on a great weekend for a great cause. Thanks, Craig.
Thanks a lot.
All right. So it was a victory for the National League over the American League today. 3-2, that final score in the Coachella Valley in Southern California. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. Our coordinating producer, Harriet Saltzman for NBC Sports World. Our telecast today produced by Glenn Adamo. Our director, Richard Klein. The Update Show, produced by Victor Frank. Directed by Kelly Atkinson. Will Belkey, Dick Ellis, our ADs, Harold Bryant, Jenny Huber-Kincaid, our PAs, and Arnold Marsh and Bill Perinello also helping out as our support staff. So a perfect day after a couple of days of rain in Southern California. We came out to the ballpark this morning, and it was an ideal condition to benefit a great charity. For Tommy Lasorda, I'm Joel Myers. Thank you for being with us this afternoon, and don't forget about the big day tomorrow, the NBA All-Star Game on NBC. It all starts at 3 o'clock Eastern Time with Bob Costas and Quinn Buckner at Showtime, and that special interview, Dick Enberg with Magic Johnson. Don't miss it. The NBA All-Star Game tomorrow on NBC.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by Delta Airlines. We love to fly. And it shows.
The preceding has been a presentation of NBC Sports, network of the games of the 25th Olympiad.